All right, so when I say the word Roblox, what pops into your head? You're probably picturing those blocky little characters, maybe hearing a whole lot of noise from kids' games. But what if I told you that's like barely scratching the surface? Today, we're diving deep into the massive, super complex, and honestly, pretty contradictory world of Roblox.
First off, let's just try to get our heads around the sheer scale we're talking about. By 2025, Roblox has swelled to 380 million active users every single month. To put that into perspective, that is way more than the entire population of the United States. This isn't just some popular game, it's a legitimate global phenomenon.
And right here, this is where that old idea of Roblox just completely falls apart. You can throw that whole "it's just for kids" myth right out the window. By 2025, the majority, we're talking over 63%, are over the age of 13. And get this, adults 18 and up are the single largest and fastest growing group, making up a huge 41% of everyone on the platform.
So, when you have an audience that big and that diverse, it's really no surprise that Roblox has morphed into this kind of digital paradise. It's this incredible space where the lines between playing, creating, and actually earning a living are all starting to blur together. You know, for brands trying to connect with people these days, this is basically the holy grail. Think about it. On regular social media, you're lucky if you get a few seconds of someone's attention as they scroll by. But in a branded world on Roblox, the average time someone spends interacting is 11 minutes. That's an eternity in the attention economy. It's the difference between just seeing a billboard versus actually moving into the neighborhood.
And brands aren't just running ads. They're using that time to build entire worlds. Fenty Beauty literally let users vote on a new lip gloss before it was even produced. Walmart teamed up with Roblox creators to make virtual back-to-school gear. The NFL is building these long-term experiences to create new fans. It's way beyond just marketing. I mean, when 84% of users say trying something on their avatar makes them more likely to buy it in real life, you know it's a game changer.
And this opportunity, it's not just for the big guys, it is fueling an absolutely explosive creator economy. Back in 2018, Roblox paid out around $72 million to its developers. Okay? Fast forward to 2023, and that number just skyrockets to over $740 million. And by 2025, the platform is on track to pay its creators over $1 billion. In a single year. That's just wow.
And for the creators who make it to the top, the rewards are absolutely staggering. We are talking about real, life-altering money. Right now, you've got over 3,700 developers making more than 10 grand a year. But look closer. Nearly 800 of them are pulling in six figures, and an incredible 675 developers are earning over $1 million a year. These are the new Roblox millionaires.
And beyond all the money, there's this really utopian vision starting to form. The Boston Museum of Science built a whole world to teach kids engineering principles. And just this year, the Love Your Mind experience launched, creating a safe space for teens to learn about mental health with expert-vetted resources and coping skills. It really feels like the platform's potential for good is limitless.
But you know how it goes. For every vision of a digital paradise, there's usually a hidden cost. And if we're really going to understand what Roblox is, we have to pull back the curtain and look at its darker, much more complicated side.
Just read that quote for a second. It's from a 2024 study. A child somewhere between 7 and 14 years old saying they feel like they're being scammed by a game. That is just jarring. And it's a powerful doorway into this other view of the platform where play and financial pressure can get dangerously tangled up.
And this isn't just a one-off feeling. Researchers are sounding some serious alarms about what some are calling child gambling. I mean, Roblox's $3.6 billion revenue in 2024, it's almost all driven by Robux, that virtual money kids use. And with 42% of players under 13, critics are worried that things like loot boxes, random rewards, are basically teaching gambling behaviors to kids who are way too young to understand it. And the parents, they just feel totally overwhelmed and powerless.
So remember that developer dream we were just talking about? Well, here's the flip side of that coin. For every single one of those Roblox millionaires, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands of creators who barely make a dime. One analysis showed that only a tiny, tiny fraction of developers on the platform actually make more than $1,500 a year. The dream is real for a few, sure, but for most people it's just a dream.
And the platform's challenges can even trip up projects with the best intentions. Let's look at Super You Story. It was a game made with the Dove Self-Esteem Project, and the goal was awesome: help improve body image for kids between 9 and 13.
It was a really ambitious shot at using Roblox for good.
But the whole project ran smack into a problem that game designers have known about for years. And it has this perfect name, chocolate-covered broccoli. Kids go to Roblox to have fun, right? To escape. They're not there for a lecture. And they are experts at sniffing out and totally rejecting anything that feels like a lesson disguised as a game.
And when they actually studied it, the results were, well, they were stunning. The kids who played Super U Story showed no real improvement in their body image. But here's the crazy part. The control group, the kids who just played a different, normal Roblox game for fun, they actually showed some improved outcomes. The purpose-built, good-for-you game was actually less effective than just letting kids play.
So what went wrong? This quote from the researchers really gets to the heart of it. You had the academics who wanted to make sure kids saw all the positive messages, but the actual game developers knew that if they forced that stuff on players, the players would just leave. It was this fundamental clash between the goal of doing good and the reality of making a good game. And in the end, that conflict sank the project.
And you know, beyond all the commercial issues and design problems, there are just real human dangers. When you have millions of kids interacting every single day, there's gonna be conflict. One study found that over 62% of elementary school kids have seen cyberbullying on platforms including Roblox, everything from nasty insults to straight-up humiliation.
So we have these two completely different pictures, don't we? On one side, a digital paradise of creativity and wealth. On the other, this digital Wild West full of dangers. How do you possibly make sense of that? Well, the answer might be to stop thinking of Roblox as just a game.
When you lay it all out, it's pretty stark. On one hand, you've got the paradise, this booming economy for creators, a wild new frontier for brands, and a genuinely important place for millions of people to connect. But on the other hand, you've got the peril, a way of making money that feels ethically questionable, a creator system where almost no one succeeds, and all the social dangers you'd expect from a massive online community.
So in the end, maybe the only way to really understand Roblox is to see it for what it's become, a digital nation. It has its own economy, it has its own culture and social rules, and it has its own laws, which, for the most part, are written by one single company. And as this digital nation's population starts to rival actual continents, it leaves all of us with one really big question. Who should be writing the rules?